I didn't finish the last chapter. What I stopped with was I never admitted the fact that when I actually filled in my census form, I still didn't put in my national origin or my religion. So in the end, I think I won. In any case, Democrats drafted a very clean-cut lady to run against me in the Dollhouse District for my second term election. All the pals and my friends were astounded, humiliated, and embarrassed for me. I thought I was a complete riot. Kay was really upset. She actually thought I was losing it. I hadn't been campaigning, which wasn't normal. I was hiding out more often, using up time away from the home district, pretending other people were more important than me. I took on a volunteer campaign job, organizing a Republican nominating convention campaign for a rich scholar for the office of Attorney General. One of my favorite individuals in my life. He passed away a couple of years ago. Laird Stabler. He was my man. I loved the guy, really. A Scotsman, a waspy-type Protestant, but a class act, and yet still one of the boys. I don't know how he did it. His campaign was a ball. Even his opponent agreed. Best campaign ever run in the United States. No mud, no shitty remarks. Just two excellent lawyers, both scholars, running against each other. Delicious fun for all us crazies who helped put it together, using all the young Republican campaign techniques and walkie-talkies on the convention floor. Our code names, obviously. It started out like I was supposed to be Nixon, and somebody else was supposed to be Agnew, and somebody else was supposed to be another cabinet. It didn't work like that. As soon as the first crisis hit, Chicken Little was my moniker. Foxy Loxy was Mike. Henny Penny was Evan Dobell. Turkey Lurkey was West, and so on and so forth. And it went like that. All of us laughing like hell every time somebody said one of the names out loud on the microphones or on the walkie-talkies. I was paying absolutely no attention whatsoever to my own politics in my own district. I just paid the filing fee. I didn't produce a brochure. I never knocked on one single door. I never made any attempt to campaign. I thought I was dead in the water and I didn't think I'd ever be elected again. My day as a pal was over, and no one knew it better than me. The local pals, that's my district, kept complaining that I was in big trouble and I was definitely going to lose. This would be the first time in American history that a Republican would lose in the Dollhouse District. And worst of all, they claimed I acted like I didn't give a shit. Frank was my political leader in my district, and he was really pissed off. Tommy, at least come to a district meeting and explain you were innocent of that conflict of interest. Fuck them. They should have listened to me when I told them the truth the first time. You talk about arrogance. I think I invented it. Annie came home from first grade crying one afternoon before the election. Daddy, a lady is outside our school and she's asking people not to vote for you. I tried to patiently explain to her. It's okay, Annie. She's just a candidate for the other side called Democrats. She's a mother, just like I'm your daddy. Annie cried, I want to do something for my daddy. Daddy had a flash. Why not? We jumped immediately into the car and drove to WDEL, a very popular radio station up in our district. And they helped Annie write out her own little words, and we cut a 30-second tape out loud into the mic. And here's what it said. My name is Annie Little. My daddy teaches me my ABCs. My daddy takes me to school. My daddy loves me and he cares about you. Will you please vote for my daddy, Tom Little, tomorrow?
Oh.
And then my voiceover, paid for by the Little People campaign. It ran 10 times a day for 3 straight days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday before the election. I had been savaged by the local newspaper on Sunday. Tuesday night, when the vote count came in at the Republican headquarters, it was a complete clean sweep for all Republicans again. But it was a massive sweep for the Little People campaign. I actually ran at the head of the ticket in my district. I beat everyone up and down the state. Even the czars knew this candidate here hardly spent a dime. And I would not take their offered contributions. Apparently I had lost political clout with party intimates, but gained an intimate clout with my political constituency. I had forgotten my constituents loved bravado. Ladies and men came up to me, "I absolutely loved your ads. Oh, I just love them. Tommy, you're terrific." The local news journal editors had specifically railed against me in a full-page editorial the Sunday before the election, begging the people of my district to throw me out of my obnoxious ear. Totally immature and opportunistic, publicity seeker, saying all the things that were absolutely true. But in a real election contest, a real daddy was elected by a real landslide. Frankly, after that election, things just started falling apart. Negative events seemed to happen all at once. But the First National Retirement Conflict of Interest investigation operated as the absolute final blow. It was the final coup for the insurance, banking, and investment yahoos. Unknown to me at the time, I made a ton of enemies along the way to the State House. But the most dangerous thing I ever did was to take on independence from the establishment as my mantra. It unleashed a massive negative economic consciousness around me. And it never went away. Or, just maybe, strike three was the original National Retirement Plan I had envisioned for the average person in America allowed all taxpayers to invest ordinary income tax-free in an individually controlled account with any investment or combination of investments they selected. We called it the National Retirement Plan, formerly known as deferred compensation for highly paid sports figures and executives in the IRS code. Today, as we speak, as I make this tape, it is best known as deferred compensation for public employees, the IRA, the Housewives IRA, or you probably know it as 401k, used in corporations. Our plan required local banks to open an individual account for any employee of any employer, anywhere. Each individual's assets were individually accounted for by the bank on behalf of that particular individual and the employer. They, the banks, were the middleman, the legal owner. We, First National, all we did was the computer work for the banks, the investment companies, the insurance companies, the employers, and the individual. The IRS legal issue allowing me to figure it all out, as known in legal circles as constructive receipt. So long as the assets of the employee were owned by the bank on behalf of the employer, it works, said the IRS. You can do it. For providing the computer part of the scheme, we charged a fee of $1 per month for each account that was split evenly between us and the bank. Each customer was delighted to invest tax-free payroll savings in anything they wanted: stocks, bonds, mutual funds, insurance annuities, real estate investment trusts, anything considered a legitimate investment within the confines of the United States for the cost $1 per month. This entire scheme was totally put together from scratch by both Jerry Shea and I. Folks called it the Tom and Jerry Plan. Tom came up with the original plan of basic commercial relationships and contractual ideas, and Jerry made sure the plan was actually legal and the computing was accurate. We were quite a team, Tom and Jerry. We testified proudly many times, as published in the records of the United States Senate. And the first thing I said was the first 155 individual members chose passbook savings accounts at the Delaware Trust.